How's it going, everybody? This is ET back at it again. I wanted to make this video because I ended up making a purchase on some suspension parts for the S197 right here. Ended up purchasing some rear lower control arms on this deal. So kind of what I was looking at on the forums, Mustang forums, noticed that a lot of people, tend to go with Whitelines. There's BMR and other brands, and ultimately Whitelines is the one that kind of stuck out the most from honest reviews and stuff like that, good reviews, top quality reviews. So I ended up pulling the purchase on it, ended up purchasing. So when I was purchasing these, I was looking for something that was non-degreasable, where I didn't have to come and service it, and then two, something that was just unadjustable. I don't really plan on lowering the car. If that, I'll get some relocation brackets for the most part. But as of right now, I just wanted something that I could just bolt in and just kind of go. My issue is with this wheel hop, the whole deal. I know these things tend to get loose and stuff, so I just wanted to focus in on the suspension parts for the car, and hopefully it just helps plant that power on the ground, just knowing I just make a little bit more than the normal horsepower. So come with me, we're gonna install these and we're gonna see how they actually feel. So yeah. So as soon as you take off the wheel, what we're gonna end up doing now is taking off this retainer clip right here, as you can see, which holds this parking brake line in place. You're just gonna place it somewhere so you don't lose it. Next, we're gonna end up removing this parking brake line from the spot, so now we can move it, because what we're gonna end up doing is disattaching it from the rear control arm, because it's run through there. So you're gonna disattach this line, feed it through, and then we're gonna start working on taking out the rear control arm. Got it off, flathead screwdriver, like I said. So once you get that flathead screwdriver, now what we're gonna end up doing is to give this slack to turn it so it can then fit down in there and pull it to the side, just like that. Okay, so it took a little longer than expected. Then what you're gonna do is make sure it don't tangle up with anything else and feed it out through the hole on the rear lower control arm. Okay, once you have that, now you can move on to proceeding of getting the duly noted. Once you take this part off, make sure that the e-brake's off in order to get this. So what you'll do is end up sliding it from that socket it was in, and then what you're gonna end up doing is turning this sideways so you can feed it through the piece that to make it fit through to release it. Then you're gonna make sure you feed it out through the control arm. And then the next point we're gonna end up doing is this nut right here, which should be an 18 millimeter nut. You're gonna start with the rear and then work your way to the front. And then, so here's the comparison from the stock lower control arm now to the Whiteline control arm. Definitely there's a difference. So this seems, real not flimsy, but not as sturdy, or like the thickness feels as far as the new one. So hopefully this makes a dramatic change. So once you now already got the stock lower control arm, what you're going to want to end up doing is now you're going to end up noticing that this has a retention of a thicker side and a thinner side. Okay, and now as far as the thicker side, what you're going to do is you're going to place the one that has more thickness of the rubber type deal. You're going to face that inwards toward the car, so practically it will go like this, just that thicker part. Usually, I mean, it kind of really looks the same realistically, so I don't know if they ended up changing it, but they say the thicker side should go in inside more. So as you can see if I can line it up right, maybe the right this is right there. So that's what's going to end up happening. The thicker side is going to be towards the car, the center of the car. So that's how it's going to go. How's it going, everybody? ET back at it again. So this is going to be the part of the video, the review more than anything. After I actually driven the car now with the rear lower control arms, I kind of want to give y'all my opinion based on it. So after driving a while with these things on, ultimately I don't see a dramatic change. There's not something where, obviously it's going to now just hook and go. Ultimately there's some factors that contributed to that. So my rear end is pretty much all stock. I don't than stock form. So they don't really generally do a lot. I was kind of looking on them. They're kind of cheap, I would say. And it's not something that it's capable of handling with this beast of a S197 right here. So I am Roush supercharged and just making a lot more power than usual. So not having the right suspension, probably the tires are not helping out. I know they're 295, the Extreme Continentals, they're good tires, street tires, but as far as, from a dig standpoint, it's probably not in my best benefit. So overall, I'm gonna end up doing a lot more work for the suspension. I already ordered myself a Steeda sway bar kit. I'm looking forward to that. They say that it's about 2 to 3 process for shipping, or until it's shipped, because they make it right then and there. So that's a cool kind of feature that I was looking forward to seeing. So looking forward to putting that on for a future video. The other thing that I just wanted to make standpoint is that, just that one part isn't going to change the entire car. A lot of more factors, a lot of suspension work has to be tied in to make it the way you want to. So for me, it's necessarily something that, isn't going to be, it's a must-have. No, it's a piece with other pieces in order to, create what I'm actually looking for. Because ultimately, I want to get better with the digs off of this car, and ultimately, that's what's going to happen. So just a little bit more time and love into, doing what we have to as far as the suspension work. I've done everything I can for, cosmetically, for this car, the way I like it to sit and look, and primarily, and it's just time to actually put that time and effort into the suspension, what's beneath the car. So, get a little pull right here. Nice little 50 pull. How it just wants to get sideways. Woo, a little sketchy. Alright, like and subscribe. See you in the next video.